might notice something maybe like a little bit different about me, just like a little bit. My hair is purple. I have crazy hair. Hey guys, what's up? So I don't know why I'm doing this by myself, but I'm going to tell you about all of my creepy, weird childhood ghost stories. So I'm just gonna tell you those. I look like a witch telling ghost stories. Ooh. That was just my dad at the door knocking, so no big deal. No big deal. We are safe. If you're ready to be creeped out, well, maybe they're not that creepy. Maybe they're like explainable. I don't know. Let's get into the stories. So my mom's side of the family had grown up in this house that I'm about to talk about. My mom, her dad, her mom, and then her 4 siblings. My mom would tell me stories that happened in this house. So I will tell you like some things that happened like before I was born, so it kind of like leads up into it. Is it weird that I get like nervous telling these stories? Like I get nervous. I don't like talking about it. So one night my mom's family was all having dinner at the dinner table, and my uncle Petey was not there. So he was out and then everybody else was there. So they were all just having dinner and like chilling, and then my mom's dad was like a super like military man, like super like hardcore, like not like afraid of anything, nothing like that. So they kept hearing like footsteps upstairs. So right above the diner table was Petey's room. So basically they kept hearing footsteps upstairs, and they kept hearing the closet door open shut. It just kept opening and shutting. And so they would also hear like the clothing hangers, that's what it's called, yeah, the hangers like rattling, so if someone was like looking for an outfit or something. So they kept hearing these really loud noises upstairs in Petey's room, and they were like, why is Petey not at dinner? Like, we know he's not home. Like, why, how did he get upstairs? Why is he not down with us? Like, what's going on? What is Petey doing? So my grandpa went upstairs to go check. The rest of the family stayed downstairs, and he came down about 2 minutes later, and he's like super hardcore guy, like keep in mind. So he came down like 2 minutes later, and he was like slightly shaking, and he just sat down at the table, and he had his head like hung down low, and he was like, Petey's not home, no one's there. And they just kept eating, and he ate in silence for the rest of the night. So like nobody talked for the rest of the night. Everybody was just like creeped out because they all heard this loudness, all these, as if someone was really in Petey's room. It should have been Petey, but he wasn't even home. He was out. Another pre-story to this is that my grandpa had gotten sick with cancer. So they had hired like an in-home care system, like a nurse, to come take care of him. And so as he was dying, this nurse was taking care of him, and I can't remember exactly the stories that my mom would tell me or my family would tell me. All I know is that the nurses like ran out on him one day and quit, and they never came back. So I don't remember if they told my family or my mom or my grandma, you know, I've been like creeped out, I've been seeing things, like I can't do this anymore, I'm gonna quit, or if they just left and never came back. But I'm pretty sure they actually had mentioned that they were too freaked out to ever come back. So the nurses that were taking care of my grandpa never came back. So that was just like a pre-story to what happened to me and my family once my mom started having a family. So basically, so I was born in 1995, my sister was born in 1990, so my mom, my dad, and my sister were already living in this house. So they were living with my grandma. My grandpa had passed away at this point, so they were living with my grandma, my uncle Johnny, my mom, my dad, and my sister in this so-called haunted house. So I was born in 1995, that's when I came in, and that's when things started getting weird again. One story, this is like the famous story of my family. So when I was little, my entire family was over at this house for dinner, at the same dinner table, I'm pretty sure, that the first story happened at. So they were all having dinner, and you know, I was done with dinner. When you're a little kid, you just go off and play, you go do whatever you want, right? So I was at the top of the stairs to where the whole family could hear me and could hear what I was doing. And I was by myself. I decided to play by myself. So there was this little tiny old rocking chair. It was about the size of me when I was like, I don't know, I think I was 3 or 4, so really tiny rocking chair. And this rocking chair, supposedly we later found out had been owned by this little boy who got killed or something like that. I don't know if it's true, but it would make sense. My whole family heard me laughing upstairs and talking, and so many kids have imaginary friends, you know, it like makes sense, whatever, it's not a big deal, right? So they hear me laughing and talking upstairs to no one. I don't even know if my sister was there at this time. So they all come upstairs and they go, Olivia, who are you talking to? Like, why are you laughing? Like, what's going on? And they were kind of worried for a second. And I go, oh, I'm just talking to the little boy in the rocking chair. And everybody just like froze because they know like the history with this house. So everybody just like froze and looked at each other, and then they go, where did he go? Like, where is he? And I just pointed up. And so apparently I had said he went up through the wall. And it's like giving me the chills just thinking about it. It's like really freaking me out. I mean, honestly, that would be pretty cool if I had communicated with a little boy ghost at some point in my life. Like, that would be pretty cool. Like, not even freaky. That's awesome. So they'll never let me forget that story. Another story about me was I was sitting in the TV room with my grandma, and I was in the same exact rocking chair, but I was just sitting in it. And I remember this. I actually remember this memory, and my grandma would always like talk about this. I was just sitting in the rocking chair. I was not rocking at all, and all of a sudden the rocking chair just flew back. And I remember I just started crying because it was really painful, and I was like, I don't really remember feeling pushed or anything. I just remember 1 second I was sitting in the rocking chair, not rocking, and the next second I flew back and I was on the floor like crying and hurt. So that was really, really, really scary because I actually can remember that moment, and I remember exactly where I was and like the pictures on the wall and everything. Like, I have a vivid memory of that. That was super creepy. That doesn't seem very friendly. Like, it would be a friendly entity, I don't know. Okay, so there was this doll, and what did we call it? It was called like Creepy Doll. I think we literally called it Creepy Doll. But it was this little tiny doll. God, I'm trying to remember what it looked like, but it didn't have any hair. I think its eyes were messed up, its eyes were like looking different ways or something. It was really weird looking, but I still don't remember or don't know if this was just my Uncle Johnny playing tricks on us because we all were convinced this house was super haunted, or if it was really moving around itself. But this doll would just end up everywhere. Like, we'd put it one place and the doll would just end up another place. And I think it might have been my Uncle Johnny sometimes, which would have made the situation a lot lighter. But I don't really know. Maybe sometimes it wasn't, because it would just be everywhere. It would go in different places all the time. So that doll was like super creepy. I have no idea what was going on with that. So things were moving around all the time. I flew back in my rocking chair as if I was pushed. I had the creepy little boy in the rocking chair story, and then the stories about all the footsteps upstairs and all that stuff. So that house was pretty creepy, cannot lie. My family actually had taken it so seriously that they went back years later after none of us had lived there anymore. So a whole new family had moved into that house, and we had gone back to ask if they had any paranormal experiences, and they all said no, they had nothing. So I don't know if it's my family, if it's what. Oh, you guys, I'm so like jumpy right now. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me telling you some of my very, very true creepy paranormal stories from when I was a little girl. Nothing has happened since I've grown up, so who knows, but definitely a lot of stories in that house, and definitely a lot of stories revolving around me. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, or if you got a little bit scared, or if you want to make a video or share any of your experiences down below with me. That would be awesome. I'd love to hear them. So definitely give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I upload videos every Monday and Friday. Also, I forgot to mention I am doing a Q&A in one of my next videos. I don't know when it'll be up, but probably just when I get enough questions. But I'm doing a Q&A, so make sure to leave your questions. You can leave them in the comments. You can send them to my Twitter. You can also send them to my Tumblr Ask box. I'll leave all the links down below so you can get to them and contact me. And yeah, so just leave me any questions that you have for me, and I will definitely answer them in my next Q&A video. So have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!